Forget the apple. That simple image, an apple falling, a man thinking, a law being born, has become one of the most comforting myths in human history. It tells us that science is clean, linear, rational, that great discoveries emerge from calm observation and pure logic alone. But Isaac Newton was not clean. He was not simple, and his mind was anything but purely rational. Behind the polished image, taught in textbooks, lies a man, consumed by forbidden questions, ancient texts, cryptic symbols, and ideas so controversial that they were deliberately hidden for centuries. Newton spent more time studying alchemy, biblical prophecy, and Hermetic philosophy than he ever did writing Principia. This is not speculation. This is documented fact. The unsettling question is not whether Newton believed in ancient knowledge. The real question is why modern history tried so hard to erase it. Because once you accept the truth, the story of science itself begins to change. Isaac Newton lived in an age where the boundary between science, religion, and mysticism had not yet hardened. The modern division between rational and irrational did not exist. To Newton, truth was singular. Nature, God, mathematics, and ancient wisdom were different languages, describing the same hidden structure of reality. He believed the universe was not merely mechanical, but intentional, not merely observable, but decipherable, and not merely physical, but symbolic. Newton owned one of the largest private libraries of occult and alchemical manuscripts in Europe. He copied entire Hermetic texts by hand. He conducted secret experiments attempting to transmute metals, isolate the spirit within matter, and uncover the hidden forces that bind the cosmos together. This was not a hobby. This was obsession. He wrote more on alchemy than on physics, more on theology than on calculus. And yet, history tells us almost none of this. Why? Because alchemy threatens the story we like to tell about science, that it emerged fully formed from reason alone. Newton disrupts that narrative. He forces us to confront an uncomfortable reality, that modern science may have been born not in rejection of ancient knowledge, but through it. Alchemy, in Newton's time, was not primitive chemistry. It was a metaphysical system, a belief that matter possessed invisible forces, internal sympathies, and spiritual principles. Alchemists believed substances could attract, repel, transform, and influence one another across space. Sound familiar? Long before Newton mathematically defined gravity, alchemical texts spoke of occult attraction, forces, acting at a distance without physical contact. This idea deeply troubled mechanistic philosophers, but it fascinated Newton. Gravity itself, as Newton formulated it, violated the dominant mechanical worldview. Action at a distance was considered absurd, and Newton knew it. He never explained what gravity was. He only described how it behaved. Privately, Newton suspected gravity was not mechanical at all, but spiritual, an invisible medium, an animating force. He called it the ether. The concept of ether did not originate in physics. It came from ancient Greek and Hermetic traditions, an all-pervading substance connecting all things. Newton believed this subtle medium carried divine intention, binding matter according to hidden laws. This is why Newton was uncomfortable publishing explanations of gravity's cause. He feared ridicule, he feared religious backlash, and he feared exposing how deeply his ideas were rooted in forbidden traditions. Newton's alchemy was not about gold. It was about unity. He sought the philosopher's stone not as a literal object, but as a principle, a key to understanding how multiplicity emerges from oneness. This mirrors his scientific work. Calculus unified motion. Optics unified light. Gravity unified the heavens and the earth. This pattern is not coincidence. Newton believed ancient civilizations possessed fragments of primordial knowledge lost over time. He believed this wisdom was encoded symbolically in myths, religious texts, and alchemical diagrams. His task, as he saw it, was not invention, but recovery. This belief drove his obsession with biblical chronology. Newton calculated the dimensions of Solomon's temple, convinced it was designed according to cosmic proportions. He searched for numerical harmonies linking scripture, geometry, and planetary motion. To Newton, mathematics was sacred language. He was heavily influenced by Pythagorean and Platonic thought. The belief that reality is structured according to mathematical forms. The Platonic solids, long associated with the elements, shaped early cosmological models. Newton did not reject these ideas. He refined them. Even his optics work carried mystical undertones. He believed light was the purest manifestation of divine order, both particle and wave, physical and metaphysical. Newton's God was not distant. He was embedded. This is where the Enlightenment narrative begins to fracture. Later generations, eager to promote a rational, secular worldview, selectively edited Newton. His alchemical manuscripts were hidden, his theological writings dismissed as eccentric, his mysticism rebranded as irrelevant. But the truth is more disturbing. Modern science did not emerge by rejecting mysticism. It emerged by metabolizing it. Newton stood at the threshold between worlds. He translated ancient symbolic intuition into mathematical language. He converted myth into model. He transformed mystical attraction into gravitational law. Without alchemy, Newton might never have accepted action at a distance. Without Hermetic philosophy, he might never have sought hidden unifying forces. Without ancient knowledge, modern physics may have arrived much later, or in a different form entirely. This does not mean alchemy was correct. It means it was productive. Science advances not only through certainty, but through obsession, through dangerous questions, through forbidden curiosity. Newton's mind was not divided between reason and mysticism. It was unified by hunger. And that hunger reshaped reality. Today, as physics once again confronts invisible forces, dark matter, non-locality, and emergent space-time, Newton's legacy feels uncomfortably relevant. We are rediscovering that the universe is not as mechanical as we believed. Perhaps the boundary between science and ancient wisdom was never real. Perhaps it was only convenient. Isaac Newton was not an anomaly. He was a reminder. That knowledge does not move forward in straight lines. That truth often hides in forbidden places, and that the foundations of modern reality may rest on ideas we were told to forget. The apple was never the story. The forbidden mind was.